Hi, it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec. Today I'm here for Mercy Tiara Kits, and I'm going to be creating this sketch-inspired 12 by 12 layout featuring the most recent release called Adventure Awaits. This kit combines products from Pink Paisley, Echo Park Paper, Simple Stories, American Crafts, and more. And it's my first time digging into it, so I have tons of fabulous product. And here is my narrowed down selection. A lot of what I end up using can be found in the travel add-on with material from the American Crafts Coast to Coast collection and Pack Your Bags from Simple Stories. You can find inspiration and information about the Mercy Tiara Kits on their website, Instagram, and on Facebook. And I will put a bunch of links below. Before starting, let's have a look at my jumping off point, a Kristine Davidson Sketch from Creative Scrappers. It is the April Sketch Challenge in the Mercy Tiara Kits Facebook group, so you can find the sketch there. It's also on the back of the newsletter that comes with the kit. My plan is to pretty much follow it as is, but I end up kind of going my own way when it comes to those embellishment clusters, those stars that you see on the page. So let's get started. So here's what's on my table. That photo measures 5 by 5 and I double matted it. Here's my sketch and I have a bunch of paper. So the cardstock, the color I think is called Natural by Basil, and it was in the cardstock add-on. That was two 12 by 12 printed papers, both from the Coast to Coast collection from American Crafts. I also have a 6 by 8 Coast to Coast collection paper pad. From that, I pulled a few papers, including 2 cut-apart sheets. Now, in that paper pad, there are 2 of each pattern paper. I think there are 3 cut-apart sheets, and I cut up 2 of them. I plan to use them for layering and embellishing. In this tray, I have tons of embellishments because it's the first time I'm digging into Adventure Awaits. So I have the embellishing from the main kit, from the embellishment add-on, and the travel add-on. Like I mentioned in the intro, most of what I end up using for this layout is from the travel add-on. Not all of it, but most of it. Anyway, I will talk more about all of these embellishings later on in the process when I actually dig into them. In addition to all of this, I do have some square dies because the sketch I'm using has a bunch of small squares. The first thing I'm going to do is prepare my foundation page. So I am going to be creating a narrow border for the left-hand side of the page, and it is not on the sketch. This striped paper here is from the travel add-on, again from the Coast to Coast collection, and this teal paper was from the main kit, again Coast to Coast collection. I will put measurements for what I'm doing on the screen, but keep in mind the measurements I post on the screen are for visible paper only, and you're going to see I adhere these narrow strips from behind my foundation page. So as you can see with that striped paper there, only a small bit peeks out, and the measurement on my screen is for the small bit that peeks out. So if you want to do what I'm doing, you will have to cut your strips of paper wider. The same thing for that teal paper there. Now, once this is done, what I'm going to do is put this entire piece in my trimmer to trim it down to 12 by 12. And the easy way to do this is to simply use those narrow strips and adhere them on top of the foundation page. I just happen to like how it looks when they peek out from behind. Once this is done, now I want to cut up a bunch of squares like you see on the sketch. So I'm going to be using 3 different pattern papers, 2 of them from the 6 by 8 paper pad, and the teal paper is from a 12 by 12 paper. I'm getting out my die cutting machine, and the die size I'm using is 2 1/8 of an inch. Obviously, you don't need a square die to create this layout. If you have them, however, it's a great time to pull them out because when you cut your squares, you will get identical squares each time. I am not going to make you watch all of this, but what I end up doing is cutting out 12 squares, 4 in each of the printed papers. And in a moment, you're going to see all of my squares are cut. And for the squares that I cut using the 6x8 paper pads, I cut them on an angle because one of them had license plates with words. I wanted those words to appear straight across my page. And this one here had stripes, so the same thing. I wanted those stripes to go straight across. I'm just having another look at this sketch and I'm pointing to the bottom row of squares. This is what I find the most important for placement. What you see me doing is measuring, and then I will draw a pencil line 3 inches from the bottom of the page. I am going to use that as a guide to place my first row of squares. Once that's down and I'm happy with it, then for the rest, I just kind of eyeball it. So I'm being careful for the first row, and then after that, I just kind of wing it. You can see I'm placing the 3 squares at the bottom, and basically where there are points, I've lined up those points on the pencil drawn line. Now you see me adhering them, and I am leaving a tiny bit of space between each one of those points. So once I get this down, what you're going to see me do is I do come in and erase the visible pencil drawn lines. And for the rest of it, I basically eyeball it. I just wanted to make sure that that first line was straight, and after that, it would be easy. What else can I say? Right now, I'm going to come in, before I adhere them all down, I do play around a bit with the placement because I have 3 different pattern papers here. So I just wanted to make sure I liked how it looked, and I do. So now I'm going ahead and adhering them. And after that, I am ready to place my photo and start embellishing this page. This background has a really fun impact on the page, and with all the pattern papers, it has a huge decorative impact as well. So here I am back with all of my embellishing. I am going to show you that one of the mats behind the photo, I actually cut out 2 of my squares from it. That's because I only have 1 of each pattern paper, and I am going to want to create a complementary page. You will see that in my layout share at the end of the month. So here are some embellishments. So I'm showing you the title I've selected from that stickers phrase collection there. I'm about to show it to you. My title's going to be Memories, Let's Go. So those are foam phrase stickers from the Coast to Coast collection. They were in the travel add-on. Here is that pile of cut apart sheets that I showed you earlier in the video. I have 2 tags. Those are from the Pink Paisley Joyful Notes collection. I had a few other small bits and bobs there as well. Here are some other embellishments. So I have stickers from Pink Paisley, adhesive brads and chipboard, that's from Echo Park Paper, and that 12 by 12 sticker sheet is from Simple Stories Pack Your Bags. That was in the travel add-on as well. So I know my title's going to go above my photo, just like you see on the sketch. And now what I'm going to do is basically create a layered cluster in the bottom right of the photo. So I'm not really following the sketch at this point. I do plan to put a small bit of journaling on that tag that you see. On top of it, I layered a cut apart sheet that said Adventure Awaits. On top of that, I have another cut apart sheet that I cut down into a small square just so that I could have those words there. And now I'm going into the sticker sheet. So on wax paper, I really like that car with suitcases in the back. This was kind of part of a road trip. I was on my way to Lake Louise last fall. So I like that there. And I also have the words Let's Go. I played around a bit with placement. I'm thinking of putting it on the tag, but I still need room for at least a bit of journaling. Now I'm looking for more stickers. I want to add to that title area, but I don't want to take away from my title. So I decide to go into the little word stickers there, and I made a little line of them, basically following the main colors of the layout, which is like a dark teal, a paler teal, and a yellow. So I'm happy with that. And I'm happy with my main embellishing. I am going to come in and do some finishing touches, but at this point you can see I am adhering. So I started with the photo there, and now I am working on the title. Now at this point, I would like the title to span across the entire top of the photo, but it's just a little too small for that. I actually stopped the film here and I kind of play around with it a bit. But when I spaced the alphas so that they spanned across the entire photo, it looked weird to me. So I decided to bump it up, as you can see, towards the left. On top of it, I have those 3 word stickers, but I know later on I'm going to want to fill in that area on the right side of the word memories. Now I'm going to work on this cluster in the bottom right of the photo. So you can see I'm kind of layering things up one on top of the other, starting with that tag, then Adventure Awaits. I've got another little piece, almost like a little stamp. That was one of those cut apart sheets as well that I tucked behind the tag there. And the one that has words on top of it, it says, the places we go, the people we meet, the memories we create. It's a small one that I will be placing on top of Adventure Awaits. That one I'm going to want to pop up on foam adhesive. And I'm also going to want to pop up that car on foam adhesive as well. So when I go to do that, what I decide I want to do is back those pieces, because when I pop things up on foam adhesive, I don't like them to bend. And the piece was big enough. If I put foam adhesive behind it, I feared that it would kind of bend. So you can see me just kind of fashioning myself a bit of cardstock to stick behind that car sticker. I do the same thing for that square cut apart sheet, and now I'm adding foam adhesive. So that one's going to overlap the tag and Adventure Awaits, and the car is going to go kind of towards the bottom of the photo and overlap just a little bit Adventure Awaits. So the idea that everything is just a little bit overlapping, really, I don't know, I find it adds interest to the embellishment cluster. Now, before adding more, I do want to add my journaling. So off camera, I did my journaling on vellum. I did it on the computer and printed it just because I don't have much to write, but I don't have much space either. So I wanted to make sure I got all of the information there. I printed it out, and now you see me tucking it in. And because it's vellum, I'm trying to, I'm getting tongue-tied. I always do at the end of these videos. Anyway, I am trying to hide my adhesive behind that little cut apart sheet to the right of my journaling. And now what I'm going to do is come in with another one of those foam titles, and it says, Let's Go. And I'm just going to kind of place it at the bottom. And I'm really liking how this cluster is looking. So yes, I indeed followed the sketch, except when it came time to embellishing. I find that one main embellishment cluster with a small repetition up by the title is enough, especially with all of the patterns in that printed paper. So once I get this title down, Let's Go, I'm happy with that. I do want to add a few finishing touches. I definitely need a little bit of twine for my tag or something in my tag there. And I don't know, I'm looking at the stickers. I might want something else as well, but I decide that I am going to do that off camera. I know I want something to the right of the word memories just to fill in that little space there. And you're going to see that off camera, I ended up adding, I did add the twine, of course, to that tag, but I also created 2 small visual triangles. And to do this, I added a gold heart from the Pink Paisley Joyful Note sticker sheet just to the right of the title, and then 2 more to form a visual triangle. So one heart is on the cut apart sheet that reads, The places we go, people we meet, memories we create, and the other one is on top of the car. I also added a yellow sunglasses sticker to the right of the journaling, and this formed the visual triangle with the 2 other yellow spots on the page. One of them is a word sticker just above the word memories, and the other one is the Let's Go stickers, which is just beneath the tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, Scrapbooking Quebec, I would be honored and thrilled if you did. And if you are a subscriber, thank you very, very much. Make sure to check out the Mercy Tiara shop. You will find lists of links below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.